Okay.
EmceeTV.
Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy, that motherfucker Steve, coming at you live from EmceeTV Studios in Des Moines, Iowa. And as always, I got with me my bro.
This your boy Big Ray West B-I-double-G, repping the west side of Des Moines, Iowa, not to be confused with the coast, and they know.
And today's extra special guest is the one and only M80.
M80. Hello. Hey, by the way, this is EmceeTV. I know a lot of people that watch EmceeTV. Props to y'all, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It literally just hit me. I'm like, oh, snap. I know EmceeTV. All right. Awesome.
That's what's up, bro. Thank you.
M80, man. Man, thanks for giving us your time, bro. Hey, feeling ultra blessed.
Thank you for the reminder. Because, yeah, I needed that. I was doing all sorts of Rakim stuff, and I'm like, oh, snap. I was going to go pick up a plaque that just came in for me. I got a lot more coming in the next few weeks. I'm very excited. I had two. I had a Jedi Mind. I had a plaque for Vinny Paz come in the other day for a song for the album that Corrupt's on, the most recent Vinny Paz album, and we had a gold plaque for Ritz come in for the single with Mike Posner, In My Lane, and then I got an old one for Work with Cannabis from like Wyclef that is ready today.
Damn.
Yeah, man, taking it back. Like, hey, I want all my retroactive shit.
Hey, that's fucking astonishing. You dig?
Yeah.
Yep. So, if we can, real quick, let's start at the beginning real fast. Where did the name M80 come from?
Good story. I originally started rapping as Eminem. My initials are MNM, Matthew Nathaniel Markov. My brother, I have an older brother. He's like, hey, this guy just came out named Eminem and spelled differently, but like, if you're taking your career seriously, you might want to change your name. So I had a bunch of mixtapes come out as Markov, as Sir Slick Stack, as just M, SSS, and it used to be my pager code 777. So that was that name. I'm driving. My friend Justin's driving me home from swim practice one day in high school, and he's like, "You know what? You should be M1000." I'm like, "You know what? That's dumb as shit, but let's build on that." And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, M80. He's like, why M80? I'm like, it's a type of explosive. It leaves the impact and protruding effect. Like, you'll hear me and not forget it. You'll meet me and never forget it. You know, like, that's the rationale, the comprehension behind the name M80. And it's stuck dope ever since. That was in 98.
Man, very nice. So, it says M80 started rapping in the late 90s, around that era. You know what I'm saying? First album.
I started rapping in 93, and my first tape came out in 96, 7, somewhere in that realm.
Okay. And then tell us a little bit about Snakes in the Garden of 80.
That was my second album, and that's when I started doing it's my second like nationwide album. My first album came out my senior year of high school. It was called Illegal Distribution. Our school built like a studio in the school, and you could get studio bucks. And like it was supposed to be for like kids struggling with their grades that were like loved music, so they could be incentivized by the teachers to get studio bucks. And then I just like totally pimped the system, and like I was already getting A's, and I'm like, if I get an A on this next test, I want like 100 studio bucks. So like the school was mad at me because I was literally like, I recorded the whole shit for free. It took up all the studio time. But like I was like, shit, someone's got to use this shit. Why not me? Snakes in the Garden of 80, that was my second national debut. I recorded it after I got out of prison, which a lot of people were like, oh shit, like we didn't know that about you. But I was sentenced to 2 years prison, 2 years probation, 2 years house arrest for drug trafficking of the marijuanas when I was a student at Purdue University, and since my record's been expunged and all that shit. But I served just under 6 months of that, had the house arrest converted to probation. Funny thing is, I knew the album was going to be called Snakes in the Garden of 80. I always knew that's what it was going to be when I was in prison. Because a lot of people were doing snake shit to me. Like, this is crazy. One of my friends when I was in prison was writing me these letters like, yo, man, like, you know, you met my girlfriend and like things just aren't working out. Do you have any advice? And I wrote this dude mad jewels on like how to better his relationship. He used that information to take my girlfriend from me when I was in prison.
What?
Snakes in the Garden of 80. So there's a couple songs on the album that are directly related to that subject matter. And other just, like friends doing just fuck shit here and there. And it's like, that's bound to happen. My dad gave me the jewel, like, at the end of the day, if you can count all your real friends on one hand, you've led a successful life. I've kind of lived by that ever since. But when I got out of prison, I went back and reviewed all the material I wrote, and it was just really fucking angry shit. And I'm like, I didn't use a single one of those songs. I don't know where they all went because it was like they were all on loose leaf. I didn't have like a notebook. I have no clue. I'm sure they're probably at my parents' house somewhere, like tucked away in a box. But I wrote all Snakes in the Garden of 80 in the months after I got out. And as far as the anger shit goes, kept like the songs and verses that were pertinent to like I didn't know that he stole my bitch until after I got out of prison. Like I wanted to see her immediately, like I'm out, and she kept giving me these excuses. And then I went to a restaurant in Indy one day, and this waitress was like, "Hey, I recognize you. Like you're Steve's friend. Like he was just in here like 15 minutes ago with his girlfriend." And I like described my girlfriend. And she's like, "Yeah, that's her." And I'm like, "Yeah, where's Steve live?" "Oh, we just moved." This waitress literally gave me direction by direction, like shits, to his house. I ran up in that bitch. I thought I was going to go back to prison. I was out for 72 hours. I thought I'd be back in the next day. I kicked that motherfucker's door in. Bro, they were in the bedroom, fully clothed, but they both turned ghost white. And I'm like, just so you know, every breath you take from now on is because I allowed it. And I left.
M80.
That kind of shit.
Sometimes
Snakes in the oh, bro, that's probably the most polite of all the dirt I've done. Sparing lives is quite the measure of a man. When you can take a life and decide to spare a life, that is a real thing. So that Snakes in the Garden of 80, but that was when I first started performing, and I'm selling it now. The beauty of this is I'm in college, so there's clubs in Indy that are like 18 plus, and now I got a campus of thousands and thousands of people, and I'm passing out hand-to-hand flyers. I'm selling CDs from high school to college. So for like 7 years, because I graduated early because I'm fucking smart. Even with prison, I still graduated early. That's the best part about it. I was that smart. I didn't leave school every day. So 7 years times like almost 300 days a year until I made at least $100 a day. I killed it. Like I bought my first car with cash. Like anything and everything I wanted, I could pay for. My parents were super against, like, we don't want you to be a rapper. Like, go to law school. So I did that. And then when I graduated law school, it's like, well, we can't tell you shit anymore. Like you did what we wanted of you. And when I went to law school, it was specifically to master the business of music. Not necessarily become an attorney, because I'm not an attorney. Like I have my Juris Doctorate. So like lawfully I can be a paralegal at any time. But for my clients, I do all the legal work for them that doesn't require me being in the courtroom, which you can legally do with the Juris Doctorate. So that's the beauty of it. But like I have attorneys that handle all my shit. My clients all have attorneys to handle their shit. So that it was the best option. I wish I would have taken the bar, but as soon as I graduated, work just like the opportunities became crazy. And I was like, I'll take it next year. And literally since 2007, work has never slowed down and only amped itself up every year. So there's that.
That's dope. Hey, that's a blessing, right?
Yes. So Snakes in the Garden of 80 got me from performing local shows to opening up for like members of Wu-Tang to people like Keith Murray and Black Sheep and Cannabis and Digable Planets.
Very nice.
And Planet Asia, to going on tour. And then the next album, The 11th Hour, I think to date still my highest selling solo album. Like I press up 1,000 at a time, and I think I ran through like 5 or 6 reorders. And that's the one that has like the big collage on the inside with like me and Kanye West when he had the fat jaw, like John Legend and Twister. And as I'm like fucking doing my thing and meeting all these stars, and I'm like, I'm opening up all these shows, dude. Like my show resume is crazy. And, all these years later, even though I don't really rap that much anymore, like I've performed in every state in America. I've performed in many countries overseas. I've had 4 of my own albums on the Billboard Rap Top 100. Really like lived out the majority of my rap dreams. And, the biggest one, of course, being setting a Guinness World Record for rap.
Man, that's awesome, dude.
The resume is strong with this one.
Yeah. So like, like people like, oh, you think you're more successful than you really are because of like your accomplishments as an A&R executive. And I tell them, no, I don't. I'm able to separate it at all times. Like yes, the A&R executive side clearly outweighs the M80 artist side. Like if I'm able to do like a pie chart at the end of every year and break down finances, I understand like M80 the rapper in the year 2024 makes the equivalent of say like a high school teacher in the Midwest or a full-time gas station attendant. Either way, if I lived in the Midwest, it's enough wages to get by, right? Unfortunately, I don't, and I have a five-figure mortgage in Los Angeles, plus a child and a wife and fucking expenses. So no, I could not sustain my way of living if I was only M80 the rapper. Thank God that I have 100 to 200 A&R clients, and I release 15 to 20 albums a year of their material, and I broker 50 plus shows a year, and I broker 100 plus features, and we do these beats and features packs and anything and everything, and I have investments and real estate and whatever else it is, to sustain my way of living.
For sure.
That's heavy.
Mhm.
Hit him, Steve-O.
So okay, so we wanted to dive into the Wu-Tang situation a little deeper. I know that you originally linked up with them after being able to tour with them a little bit, but for the rest of the fans that don't know that whole backstory, can you tap in on that a little bit?
2003, maybe 4. I do a show in Chicago, opening up for Jizza. There's a Metro, and I was 4 years later to play at the Metro, opening up. That was like there's a name various individual members of the clan, but I actually did a show opening up for the clan, and that's like big to me, especially because they're like my greatest influence. They're my favorite artist, the whole shit. I kind of patterned my rhymes around like Snoop Dogg and Method Man and shit, and I always had this crazy admiration for Jizza just because just storytelling and lyric wise was always off the hook to me. When I did that show, that's when I met Dreddy Kruger. I was introduced to Dreddy by Killah Priest, and then artists always feel a way when they introduce me to someone and that someone else instantly wants to work with me. So I get a lot of that now, from Corrupt to Snoop, from Killah Priest to Cannabis, from whatever it is. Like this has happened hundreds of times. I think the only person I've ever met, like Crooked Eye introduced me to Eminem, but Eminem's never directly been like, I want you to do X, Y, and Z for me. That's the only person ever that's just been like, nice to meet you. Like, cool. And we did some work together that day, but that was like a one-off thing. So Dreddy told me him and RZA were launching a Wu-Tang offshoot label called Think Differently Music Group. And I'd already sold Wu-Tang on the fact. And by the way, I'd met everyone in the clan at this point except for RZA. And ended up meeting him like a year or two later in San Francisco, where I went to law school. I'm going to law school next year to specialize in intellectual property, advanced contracts, civil litigation. On top of the fact, I know your music front to back, which is why they all fell in love with me in the beginning. I could tell them like, hey, look, I'm nobody to you, but like as a fan and as someone that's in the know, here's what I think you could have done better on this project. Here's what I think, you did great. And they respected it. Some artists you meet and they're like, fuck you. Like, how dare you tell me, even all these years later, 20 plus years of experience, 45 plus Billboard Top 100s, 23 certifications. People sometimes still get agitated. Like, how dare you tell me how to better my shit? Like, fuck you. Like, okay. Like, kind of like they take that mentality. Like, if you're out of me, I'm like, well, kind of am. So, approach it, take my advice. And others, we did the culture as
I think we might have lost you.
Independent of the year across all genres. What?
I think we lost you. Your picture froze. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay, you're back.
Okay. Wu-Tang Indie Culture was the second highest selling album of 2005 across all genres of music. The only album that beat it was Danger Doom, which was Danger Mouse and MF Doom and Danger Mouse. Television promos, Adult Swim and shit. But that album is also amazing. So
yeah,
we don't mind being into that. But people want to know who was behind that record, and it was me and Dreddy. Well, Dreddy left bad taste in people's mouths. And people came to me. Like I got to work on the Jizz record and Bronze and Rodman and various works with Redman and Planet Asia. And so it's like I gained a lot of customers and clients, like lifelong relationships, because of the success of that album. So, like even though I think Dreddy's a piece of fucking human garbage, like I'm still grateful that I had that opportunity, because who knows how my life would have panned out. And that got, I'm that way with a lot of people. Like Bill Priest was with me for how I talked in some group about his Rocket to Nebula album. I'm responsible for this now.
Man, we're having real difficulties hearing you, bro.
Yeah, we might have to.
Fucking ridiculous.
We're having real difficulties hearing you, man.
Yeah, you're fading in and out. I don't know if it's
Fuck.
broke the Wi-Fi. Yeah, sorry, bro. It was real crispy for a minute, and then it seems like something.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Is this getting better?
Not that I can tell.
Is it getting any better?
Not that I can tell yet.
Motherfucker.
I think it's good. It's getting wherever you got it right now. I think it's kind of steady on my end.
Yeah, it does look like it's buffering out a little bit. Yeah, we're good.
Where would you like me to start back from? Okay. So the Killer Priest thing, did we catch any of that?
No, that's where it starts. Start with the Killer Priest was mad, and then it went guan guan guan.
Okay, so I had a falling out with Dreddy, like because I was getting all these opportunities and people just wanted to work with me and not him. So it was crazy, the fallout, because every time someone would come to me, like, and I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars of deals, and I'm going to kick you back 10 G's here and blah, blah. He'd get mad that like the student can't surpass the master. And I'm like, bro, like you're looking at it like a fucking lunatic. Like I could do the job without you and I'm still trying to pay you. Like, fuck you. So then I went and just did all the jobs, kept the money. Like, all right, you want to be a moron about it? Are we good? Are we still good?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
look crispy now.
Okay.
Really good.
So fast, and I've had this situation only a few other times, but like the beauty for me is all the like worst, like for instance, I got paid $2,000 for Wu-Tang Indie Culture. It made over $1 million. How the fuck do you justify that? So I was like, that experience would have crushed the average man without the thick skin. For me, that led me to launch Holy Spirit Productions. I'm going to set up my own company. People will pay me, and I'll pay out. No one's going to yap me for bread again. Okay, that solved that problem. Literally, I can't name one time where I'm like some rapper. I found a solution to ensure, and there's no rapper that'll say I owe them money because I paid for every business deal and I get all the paperwork done. But Priest, I was the associate producer on an album of his called Rocket to Nebula. Every dollar that motherfucker made during COVID came from me and my ideas. We're going to launch this limited edition products. Like I even had to like fill out some paperwork for him to get like rent abatement because he wasn't performing. A lot of these dudes, their income is just from shows. If you can't travel the world, there goes that. And it's not like he's going to drop an album a month or something like I had Cannabis do in 2022. So he didn't like how I was talking in a group text. So I associate produced the album. I'm setting up his web infrastructure. I'm telling him where to get his physicals, price, his merch, the whole nine. We have his album release party in my backyard that people could attend for free online. And the beauty is, they'd buy merch and the CDs and shit. So it's like, dude makes all this bread. I didn't ask for any money because every credit for big name artists gets me to my next paycheck from an independent new dude. Like if you love Rakim, example, I executive produced the Rakim album. Come on, man, that's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars of new checks coming in for me. Like Jay-Z might be like, damn, this dude worked on the Raw product. Let's fuck with him.
Oh, yeah.
Why were you able to make this happen and Dr. Dre couldn't? We need you to come in here for me at least. But for independent rappers, yeah, man, like help me make my album, help me do the legal, help me shop the deals, help me coordinate my radio, my press, my ads, my tours, the whole nine. Like that's what I do. So Priest, when the album came out, my name was conveniently removed from the credits. Said it was just a graphic error, and I'd be like, it was just the CD when the vocals came in, I'd be straight. The vinyls come in, he lied. I don't need to. He was my best friend. We don't ever need to talk again because you can't change that kind of behavior. Like you stole that didn't require stealing. I was working for free. I just wanted my credit. And the craziest shit about it is only a fucking moron would do that. like remove a credit from someone so significant. Like I'm not like the guy that brought you cups of water in the studio. That same year that happened, I got my first gold plaque working with Eminem, which that record is now double platinum. I think I had a gold single with Valet from Def Jam. I think in the next year, like all my DMX work came to fruition. You know, rest in peace. So it's like, bro, even though you're my guy, and I'm gonna talk my shit, but you're still the one that introduced me to all Wu-Tang and made that my family. So there's the positive of it. Oh, here's my wife. What's up, baby? All right, goodbye. Be on this shit. Duck down real quick. Oh, there she goes. All right. Bye. All right.
All right, man, one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite rappers.
So there's that, you know.
One of my favorite guys, one of my favorite rappers on the planet is Crooked I, King Crooked. Can you talk about the Good vs. Evil, and then how many projects do you guys have together, and what do you remember about the Midwest Invasion tour? You're out of there. We can't hear you. Hold on. We gotta get your connection right. We gotta get that connection right.
Yeah, I think we lost you again, fam. Okay, we made. Oh,
there we go. All right.
Okay, you ready for my answer?
Yes, sir. Damn, just lost him again.
Yeah. Well, we might have to circle back around. We're having some technical difficulties. We're gonna try again, y'all. We're gonna reconnect with M80 and see if we can't get this popping here a little bit later. Until then, we're gonna put it on pause and we'll circle back around.
Yep.